These are my 3D printed axe heads for moulding. In cast, I'm using cast aluminium. These have a lot of layer lines. I basically give them a coat of primer sealer, and then I'm using jointing compound, and then I'm using a razor when it's dry to scrape the surface rather than try to sand it. 2 units look like with all the layer lines, and I'll just give it a spray with some primer filler. Any obvious flaws or edges, scrape them all off before we put our jointing compound on, and you should end up with something that looks like that, a lot cleaner. Okay, this is a surface primer finisher. I've put a fairly thick sort of coat on there, on both of them. You can see on the light, still cuts, the lines are still showing. Once this dries off, I will then put the jointing compound and show you a picture of that, and then start scraping it off with a razor blade. Okay, so this is the second coat. I will now just scrape some of that with a scraper. And what I'm basically using is just a blade, like that, and I'm scraping it in that direction. And until I can sort of see underneath starting to come through. So a thick section like that, I would scrape that first and then bring it down, then continue down to get a nice smooth surface. So as you can see, I'm basically using the lines in there as a depth, so I know how much thickness is over top, and set it up so that there's just a tiny bit over there. This one here I have to do, but it's much quicker than trying to sand all this sort of stuff, because it's quite soft, the jointing compound. After I've done this, I will then spray it with another coat of under surface primer surfacer, and then a light rub, and it's ready to make a mould.